The wind howled through the jagged peaks of the Sawtooth Mountains, carrying with it the sharp bite of early autumn. The sun was dipping low, casting long shadows over the rugged terrain of pine forests, rocky outcrops, and steep ravines. In a small clearing near the trailhead, a search and rescue team gathered, their faces etched with urgency. A hiker, 32-year-old Emily Carter, had been missing for nearly 48 hours. Her last known location was a remote trail deep in the wilderness, and with temperatures dropping and a storm brewing, time was running out. At the center of the team stood K9 Maxx, a 5-year-old German shepherd with a coat of black and tan and eyes that gleamed with focus. His handler, Ranger Jake Sullivan, knelt beside him, adjusting the harness that marked Maxx as a search and rescue dog. Max's tail wagged faintly, but his body was taut, sensing the gravity of the moment. He wasn't just a dog. He was a lifeline, trained to track scents across miles of unforgiving terrain. Today, that training would be put to the ultimate test. "All right, Maxx," Jake said, his voice steady but laced with tension. "We've got a job to do. Let's find her." The team had been briefed. Emily was an experienced hiker, but she'd ventured off the main trail, likely to explore a scenic overlook. Her backpack, found a mile from the trail, contained a water bottle, a map, and a phone with a dead battery. The discovery had narrowed the search area, but the terrain was treacherous. Cliffs, dense underbrush, and streams swollen from recent rains. Worse, the forecast predicted snow by nightfall. If Emily was injured or exposed, her chances of survival were dwindling by the hour. Jake presented Maxx with a scent article, a scarf Emily's brother had provided from her car. Maxx buried his nose in the fabric, inhaling deeply, his brain cataloging the unique signature of Emily's scent. His ears flicked, and he lifted his head, ready to work. Jake gave the command. "Search." Maxx bounded forward, nose low to the ground, weaving through the underbrush with purpose. Jake followed close behind, scanning the terrain for signs. A footprint, a broken branch, anything that might confirm Maxx was on the right track. The rest of the team fanned out, equipped with radios and GPS, but everyone knew the real hope lay with Maxx. Human eyes could miss clues. Max's nose wouldn't. The trail started easy enough, a dirt path winding through towering pines. But soon, it gave way to rocky slopes and thickets of thorny brush. Maxx didn't hesitate. He scrambled over boulders, his paws gripping the uneven stone, and plunged through patches of mud, his focus unbroken. Jake trusted Maxx implicitly. They'd worked together for 3 years, finding lost campers, stranded climbers, and even a child who'd wandered from a campsite. But this search felt different. The stakes were higher, the terrain more brutal, and the clock was merciless. An hour in, Maxx paused at a fork in the path. His nose twitched, sampling the air. Jake watched, holding his breath. Maxx turned left, toward a steep ravine where the trail all but disappeared. The team exchanged glances. This wasn't the direction they'd expected. The ravine was a nightmare of loose rocks and tangled roots, and it led away from the overlook where Emily was thought to have gone. But Jake trusted Max's instincts. "Go on, boy," he urged. Maxx descended into the ravine, his movements precise but urgent. The scent was stronger here. Jake could tell by the way Max's tail flicked and his pace quickened. The team struggled to keep up, their boots slipping on the damp stones. One of the rangers, a rookie named Sarah, muttered, "How's he so sure? There's nothing here." Jake didn't answer. He'd seen Maxx work miracles before. Halfway down the ravine, Maxx froze. His head snapped up, ears perked. He let out a low whine, then bolted toward a cluster of fallen logs near the base of a cliff. Jake's heart pounded as he followed, his flashlight cutting through the gathering dusk. "What is it, Max?" he called. Max circled the logs, sniffing frantically, then began to dig at the earth beneath them. His paws churned the dirt, and he barked, a sharp, insistent sound that echoed off the cliffs. Jake dropped to his knees, shining his light into the gap between the logs. There, barely visible, was a flash of red fabric. "Jacket! Emily!" Jake shouted, his voice raw. The team rushed forward, prying the logs apart with gloved hands. Max stood back, panting, his eyes fixed on the spot. Beneath the logs, curled in a shallow hollow, was Emily Carter. Her face was pale, her lips cracked, and her left leg was twisted at an unnatural angle. But her chest rose and fell with shallow breaths. She was alive. "Get the medics," Jake ordered, his voice trembling with relief. He knelt beside Emily, checking her pulse. It was weak but steady. "Hang on, Emily. We've got you." Max pressed close, his nose nudging Emily's hand. She stirred, her eyelids fluttering. "Dog," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Jake smiled, patting Max's head. "Yeah, this is Max. He found you." The team worked quickly, stabilizing Emily's leg and wrapping her in a thermal blanket. The medics arrived with a stretcher, and the arduous task of carrying her out of the ravine began. Max stayed by Jake's side, his job done but his energy still high, as if he knew the mission wasn't over until Emily was safe. As the team emerged from the ravine, the first snowflakes began to fall, dusting Max's fur. The storm was coming, but they'd beaten it. Emily was airlifted to a hospital, where doctors confirmed she'd suffered a broken leg and severe hypothermia but would recover, thanks to the team's speed and Max's nose. Back at the ranger station, Jake sat by a crackling fire. Max sprawled at his feet. The team was debriefing, but Jake's mind was elsewhere. He thought about the moment Max had caught the scent, the way he'd trusted his instincts even when the terrain seemed impossible. "You're 1 in a million, buddy," Jake said, scratching Max's ears. Max thumped his tail, content. He didn't understand praise or glory, only the job: find the scent, save the life. And today, in the wild heart of the Sawtooth Mountains, K9 Max had done just that.